European breed. That's all I really know about it.
He looks like, he kind of has a pit bull, is it he?
Yeah, it's a he.
It's like a pit bull face, but like really slim as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting.
Yeah. The Vizsla is a very slim breed, and so he got that, but he definitely got the pit bull face.
Cool. All right. Let's see, let me get this going. All right, my name is Eddie, by the way.
Okay, I'm Elijah.
Elijah?
Yeah.
All right, you might have to help me spell that.
All right.
How's that?
Elijah.
Elijah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So, just to give you an idea of how these conversations usually go, people tend to talk about supernatural beliefs,
Okay.
like karma.
Mm-hmm.
I believe prayer works.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in a God. I think magic is real.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a ghost. Some stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I think the conversations usually are more interesting if it's something that you really think is true, and it kind of affects who you are, like on a daily basis.
Yeah, makes sense.
Do you have a belief that you want to kind of unpack today?
Yeah, I mean, I believe in God. I believe in the Lord.
Okay. I don't ever want to assume which God do you believe in.
Yeah. I believe in Jesus.
Okay.
Jesus Christ and God.
Okay. And I want to get a sense of how confident you are. It's a nice dog, right? I want to get a sense of how confident you are that Jesus is real. And I use a scale, but you don't necessarily have to use it.
Okay.
0% is I have no confidence in the belief. I have all questions.
Yeah.
100% is I have all confidence, absolutely no questions that he exists.
Yeah.
Where would you think you'd fall on that scale?
I would fall on 100.
Okay.
Yeah. I firmly believe that Jesus Christ is real.
Okay. What do you think is the main reason that gets you to that 100%?
I mean, I think being born and raised, obviously I was born and raised in kind of a Christian household. And
Okay.
So my family is kind of religious. My mom, single mom, and so she kind of raised us to be religious. So being raised with that idea of like that there's a God, that there's Christ, it definitely influenced me. But I think when I got out of high school and started just to discover who I was and just kind of go out on my own and do my own thing, I just kind of figured it out. I mean, I've been on multiple missions trips, like to different countries. I've seen miracles.
Oh wow! So you've definitely.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was definitely like immersed in the Christian culture for a long time.
Okay.
I've seen a lot of like physical healings. I've seen like people that have been wheelchair bound stand up and start walking. I've seen people that were mute start speaking. Like I've seen those type of things. And so that was all like when I was in middle school and high school. So it definitely influenced me. But coming out of high school and coming out of that and kind of just walking away from religion and just kind of figuring out what I believed, I just came to the conclusion that the Lord has to be real, that Christ has to be real, and that God has to be real. And I think specifically because I had a very abusive upbringing by my father, and verbal abuse, physical abuse, sexual abuse. Like I was just in a very terrible household.
Wow. I'm sorry that happened to you, man.
It's all right. The Lord's done a lot of work in my life. And so when I got out of high school, a lot of suppressed things from my childhood kind of got brought up.
Okay.
And I got to this place in my life where I was like, something has to make sense of this. None of this happened for just a reason. None of it happened just because I'm human. Obviously because I believe that there's sin in the world, and because we are fallen people, and because, you know, people do hurt other people because of their whole hurts and things like that. But I got to the place where I'm like, I have to believe that the Lord has a plan for my life. And so that's kind of how I got to the realization of just being uprooted in it, and then experiencing different things, and then just figuring it out on my own.
Okay. Do you think it's possible that, let's say you were brought up in a different household with maybe different parents, or your same parents were of different religion? Let's say you were brought up as a Hindu. Is it possible that you could have kind of gone through the same scenario and maybe attributed those, I think you're describing as like miracles.
Yeah.
If you saw those miracles, you maybe attributed to the Hindu god, and you looked at your childhood and how it maybe, you really wanted to make sense of it all, that it's possible you could have attributed to a different god?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely believe that. I went to Thailand, and I got the opportunity to be a part of like the Buddhist culture, and just being able to seeing the upbringing of like specific children that were brought up in the Buddhist religion, and just, I definitely believe that your environment, and I believe the way that your upbringing has an influence on what you believe. So like for Buddhist or Hindus, like I do believe that if that's all that they've known, that's all that they've been brought up in, then yeah, they would attribute it to that. And so for me, like if I was a Buddhist, or if I was brought up in Thailand or India, where their beliefs about spirituality are very different, then yeah, I believe I would believe that, because that's all I've been taught and to believe. I think that's why, I believe that missions is really important, because people need to understand, I think, just reasons for life, reasons for why they were created, things like that. And I think that the Word of God, I think that Christ is ultimate truth, but I believe that people believe that other religions are truth, and that that they've been trained to believe and brought up and definitely influence that.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. If the way people interpret certain experiences they go through in life, and what God they attribute it to, is largely to do with how they were raised, how does that impact, or how does that translate to the truth of the belief?
Say that one more time. Sorry.
I'll try to word it another way.
Okay.
If what you believe and what you interpret to happen is largely to do with how you were raised, what does that say about the truth of the belief?
I don't know. I think that's something I'm still trying to figure out. I believe that God is real, and I believe like 100%, like I've seen the truth. But I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question. I believe everyone has truth. I believe that truth is out there, and I believe that the Lord is truth, and that the Word of God is truth, and Christ is truth, and God. And I think other people are just looking for truth. I think everyone's looking for truth to make sense of life and the world and everything. No matter what religion it is, I think everyone's trying to find truth. Or even not religious, if you're just spiritual, you're looking for truth. And that's just...
Let's say that there was a Hindu woman here.
Yes.
And, she was brought up as a Hindu, and she believes in Vishnu, and she's 100% certain that Vishnu is real, and she's experienced miracles and attributed to him. Would there be a way or a method to kind of tell which belief is more accurate?
That's a really good question. That's challenging. I don't know, because I think it depends on how firm she is on her truth. Like if she's 100% like, no, like these are truth, then I think it would be it would just be a challenge to be like, okay, well, what's your truth? What's my truth? What's truth? We all just believe specific things about what's true and what's not. If I had a mission or a goal to like save her to Christ and like to reconcile her to God, like I think it would be a different aspect of approaching her and approaching that situation. But I don't think you're fine. I firmly believe that everyone just is looking for something.
Okay.
And I believe that everyone wants to experience more, whether that's spirituality, whether that's religion, whether that's a god or gods or whatever.
Okay.
And I don't think I don't think it's right to I just don't think it's right to like go into another culture and another system and just be like, okay, your truth is wrong, my truth is right, let me try to
Right.
you
Yeah,
know?
I think we can both agree that everyone has the right to believe what they want. But as far as figuring out which one is actually true, it could be a little...
It'd just be, I think it would be situationally based.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe what's true, she believes what's her truth.
Okay.
And it would just be situationally,
Okay.
in my opinion.
Well, I already went over the 5 minute mark.
That's
I don't want to keep it very much. I just have one question, and then you can kind of go.
Okay.
If the reason you believe that Jesus is real and you're 100% confident in it is largely to do with the way you were raised and how you saw things going out through your life, and there's no real way to tell that maybe someone else might attribute that to a different God, can you really be 100% confident?
Me personally, yeah, because I firmly believe that God is real and Christ is real for my life, because of the terrible things that happened. Like I shouldn't have lived past the age of 4, like with the things that happened to me. So for me, I have to believe that the Lord can reconcile my life. I have to believe that God can make something out of my life, and that what happened to me wasn't just because my father was an ass, you know?
Right.
I have to believe that there's a purpose. And for me, I found that within Christ. I found that understanding that like the Lord has a bigger plan for the world and for humanity.
Okay.
Just part of everything else.
Okay. I lied. I have one more question.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
And it'll be the absolute last questions unless you're like, keep asking questions.
I don't mind.
Okay. Do you think if someone's conviction in a belief, whether it be in a Muslim religion or a Hindu religion or something like that, do you think their conviction or desire for it to be true, do you think that affects whether it is true?
That's a really good question. Things I haven't thought about before. Their conviction. Say it one more time.
If someone...
Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
So if they're like...
If the more conviction you have... no, that's not right. If you have enough conviction, does that make it true? If you have enough conviction in a belief?
No. In any belief, no, I don't think that's true. In belief in general, like gods and spirituality and things like that, no, I don't believe that. I mean, I've been to Africa and I've seen orphans that were thrown aside because their family thought they were witches. And
I heard about that.
That is, I mean, I've seen that. I've seen orphans and I've seen widows and I've seen things that have happened to people because of another person's belief and conviction in that belief. And I don't believe that's true. Like there's certain things that I think people are so convicted on that they affirm that as truth and it's not true. And so like that's just one part of like a humanities issue, but when it comes to religion and spirituality, I think no, I still don't think that's true. I think I firmly believe that God is real and that Christ is real, and I believe that that is the truth. And I mean, everyone has their own conviction and beliefs on things, but I don't believe that just conviction alone makes something true.
So for you, if you have conviction that Jesus is real, when you think about someone else's conviction, you recognize that even your own and theirs, your conviction isn't an equation or isn't a path to know that it's true. Yeah. I think my conviction doesn't define truth. I think my conviction doesn't mean that I have it figured all out and that I'm like, this is it. I think my conviction is just a conclusion I've come to that I've decided to hold fast to. Okay. And that doesn't necessarily equate to truth or a way to find truth. It's just something I firmly stand on. Okay. So. Cool. Thanks, man. Yeah, no worries. Appreciate it. Yeah. Oh, I have a card. Cool. And if you ever wanted to like reach out or have a second discussion or anything like that, it's got my YouTube channel. Cool. Thanks. No problem, appreciate it. Have a good day.